Is a market review for the ICT mentorship for April 3rd, 2019. This is a daily chart of the dollar index. Now this is AVA demo account data, and I wanted to bring your attention back to this volume imbalance right in here. So we were missing some portion of price action right in here between these two bodies here. Now yes, there was some wick in here, but before I remove this rectangle highlighting that range, just note that it's the close and the open that I've delineated. So take that off. Half of that range is what that blue line is. Okay, you see that here. So when we drop down to lower time frame, this will be salient once we drop into intraday charts. We also have a fair value gap in here as well. You'll see that the blue line in here, 96.50. That will be salient as well when we drop down to lower time frames. It's this candle's low here, this candle's low, and this candle's high, because single candle passed through here, no sell side delivery was offered beyond the candle's low on this day. Okay, so 96.54. That's what this level is here. Splitting that range. Okay, we have consequent encroachment, and again consequent encroachment as well for this volume imbalance. Now if we drop down into a 15-minute time frame and scrunch this up, there's those two bands of institutional order flow. So here's that volume imbalance, the mean of that range or consequent encroachment, and here's the mean of the fair value gap. Perfect delivery. Now the bulk of the volume is really close to this, so I'm not going to make too much of a big deal about it, but still it's enough to warrant a really nice respect of that level. So between this level here and this level here, bullish prices would be permitted for foreign currencies. That's all I'm going to say about dollar. Let's go back out to the daily. What I want to see is what we do the rest of this week. Now, I'm not trading anymore. I did a clinic today on institutional order flow on intraday price action. So what I want to see this week is, are we willing to go below this swing low here? And if we do, we'll be going back into this order block in here. Or do we run above here and fill in this entirely and then continuously press higher for that longer term buy side liquidity relative to the dollar index? I don't know, and because it's non-farm payroll week, I don't care. And that's another reason why I'm taking the rest of the week off. I got to get caught up with content production. Okay, and the lessons for this month. It's obviously charter members get 2 because I owe them the update for a price action model that's been released and a new one. So those lessons obviously are for them. But I'll be doing one specific teaching this month. It'll be on the 24th of April, that Wednesday. So it'll be teaching the contrast between long form analysis and short form analysis. And what that's going to help you learn is, when we sit down in front of the charts, what things do we go for in terms of tools and concepts to help frame out daily bias and how to operate within the intraday volatility. That's going to be it for that. Let's move on over to euro dollar. All right, so euro had a little bit of a pop today. It's still it's still ugly. To be honest with you, it's a mess. So, are we looking at one more little pseudo rally before they dip below here and leave the 112s for a little while and maybe run into the 110s? I don't know. Like I said, it's all based on what we'd see in the dollar index, and non-farm payroll may, spur some kind of a sentiment shift for that to occur, or it may not. I don't know. But I don't have really anything to talk about for euro. I want to take our discussion over to GBP. And this is a monthly chart, and I want to zoom in. And if we were looking at price action in here, this may or may not be clear to you. And I'm going to make the argument that when prices, like on a monthly chart, sometimes it stays within ranges like it does here. like it's doing in here right before the big move down. It's staying in a range in here. All through here is a range. So from a long-term higher time frame position trader's perspective, it can be rather frustrating to say the least. So we're essentially doing the same thing here. Okay, now I'm not making an argument that we traded into a bull charter block here and therefore we're going to trade higher, take out equal highs here, and that's not what I'm trying to indicate or suggest to anyone, because right now we're in a consolidation phase in the marketplace. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the way it is. So if this chart is the monthly and this is the weekly, look at the mess we're in here. Okay, large consolidation. Same thing occurs on the daily. We're in a large consolidation. So if we have no real clear indications on bias in a market like we're seeing here in consolidation, it forces us to go into scalper. Okay, so in scalping mode, we drop way down into the lower time frames. Hourly is kind of like going to take the position of like a daily chart. And then the 15-minute time frame is going to act like maybe an hourly chart relative to a real daily chart. And you're going to need to listen to this video again because I'm only going to say it one time. But the 1 and 5 minute chart will act as the 15 and 5. In normal market conditions, we look at a daily, a 1 hour, and a 15-minute time frame. Well, when we're looking at short-term intraday scalping, like you watched me do today, that was a clinic, okay, on my understanding of price action in an intraday basis. So I'll leave you to go back and look at what I shared on Twitter. To me personally, it's everything I ever wanted to be able to do and more when I first started learning how to trade. And back in the 90s, I didn't think anybody could do what I was doing today. So I kind of put a cape on today, not to beat my chest or anything, but I wanted to make a statement today. And I don't like to jawbone and brag in the mentorship, but I'm only saying this one time. I get a lot of emails about, if you're so good, why don't you show this? Or if you're so good, why don't this happen? And I've been running an account for almost a year and a half on Twitter. And you guys can see